So today we're going to go ahead and stretch our hip flexor. Our hip flexor is actually two muscles. One of the muscles attaches and starts here in our lumbar spine. The other one is on our bone called the ilium. They come together through our abdominal cavity and attach onto the front of our femur bone. This muscle can cause a lot of issues. You can have abdominal pain, testicular pain, pelvic floor pain, hip pain, low back pain. So it's really important to find a stretch that is going to target this area, but also will best serve the other parts of your body. So as you explore the lying down, half kneeling, seated, or even standing versions, try to figure out what best works for you and where you can deeply breathe. Enjoy. Now we're going to go ahead and cover the laying down or supine version of a hip flexor stretch. Today I'm using a massage table, but oftentimes people or patients will tell me that they use their couch if it's high enough, or the edge of their bed. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and lay down on your back, and you're going to lay kind of close to the edge of whatever surface, so that you can allow your leg to dangle. Sometimes it's helpful to move it slightly out to the side so that your thigh is not hitting that surface. Then you're gonna rest your head down and just let your leg relax. So this is the supine hip flexor stretch. One easy modification you can do is holding on to the back of your thigh or front of your knee. This allows your pelvis to tilt towards the treatment table or your bed to lock down that pelvic position. Okay, let's explore the half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Oftentimes people can complain of some discomfort through their knee. A simple solution is to flip your yoga mat over, or if you're just doing the stretch on your own, you can go ahead and put a pillow underneath your knee. So I'll show you on both sides. You're gonna come up to this half kneeling position. It's important that your ankle is a bit in front of your knee because to deepen the stretch, we oftentimes move forward. Now the key when you're trying to figure out this stretch is that as you move forward, you don't want to hyperextend through your back. So as I come forward like this, I'm hyperextending through my back, and that's gonna allow me to escape from that stretch. So oftentimes I'll have people kind of do some pelvic tilting like this, so really hyperextending, then really flexing, kind of finding that nice neutral, maintaining that by engaging our core. Then we move forward here, and now I start to feel a pull through the front part of my hip. To deepen this stretch, you can always kind of tighten your butt cheek on that side. That's a great way to increase that pull. You could lean away from that hip. Sometimes it's nice to twist away from that hip. Again, all trying to explore that stretch within this anterior part of our hip. Let me go ahead and show you on the other side. So my right knee is down, my left leg comes forward. I'm finding my nice pelvic neutral, gently engaging my tummy. Then I move my weight forward to that front foot. I gently engage my right butt cheek. Now I'm feeling that stretch through the front of my thigh. Maybe I'd like to bend away here. That's a nice modification for me. I can feel more of a stretch. Or I might even twist. Also a nice modification for me that deepens that stretch. So the key with this is really to make sure that you're finding comfort with your knees, but also maintaining that spine position as you weight shift forward so that you're not escaping that stretch. Now let's go ahead and explore the seated version of the hip flexor stretch. So this is something that you can do in your office, you can do at home, you can do at school. All you need is a chair. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and turn to the side. Once you're turned to the side, you actually want your leg and your hip to be off of the chair. So in this stretch that I'm doing for you, it's my left side that's off of the chair. Then I'm gonna go ahead and bring this leg back, okay? So by bringing it back, I'm extending through the front of the hip here. As I extend through the front of the hip, I might need to scoot my foot a bit further back or even a bit further forward, depending on how much I can feel that stretch. If when you're in this pose or position, you start to feel any strain through your lower lumbar, low back area, you can go ahead and just tighten your butt cheek on this side. By tightening that, that helps to get more extension through the front of our hip, and it actually inhibits some of these muscles. So you just hold this position. I'm holding with my other hand onto the seat of the chair. You could even hold onto the backrest so that you don't feel as though you're gonna teeter off. Let me go ahead and just pop over and show you on the other side. So I'm just turning. I now have my right leg off of the chair. I'm holding on to the backrest, and I just bring my foot back until I start to feel that stretch. I want to make sure that I'm not hyperextending through my spine, so you want to go ahead and kind of tuck that, maybe gently engaging your tummy, and then bringing that foot back to feel a stretch through the front part of your hip. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the standing hip flexor stretch. This is one that a lot of people have trouble with, so take time to set it up. First, what you're gonna go ahead and do is you want your base of support to be nice and wide, like you are on train tracks. The second thing I want you to look at is, where are my toes positioned? We want this back foot and front foot to both be facing forward. We don't want that back foot to turn out. That's gonna allow us to escape out of that stretch. So my feet are on train tracks. I have both of my toes pointed forward. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to bend my front knee. As I bend my front knee, I'm gonna allow that back heel to come up and my knee to bend. Now, once I'm in this position, I can go ahead and straighten out that back leg, still leaving the heel off of the ground, and I will start to feel a stretch through that front part of my thigh. In this position, I can always go ahead and lean away from my stretching leg, which will deepen the stretch. I can also twist away, which will give me a slightly different sensation, but still stretching through the front of the hip. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like on the other side. So let's see. I'll go ahead and still face the same way, so then that way you can see what that planting foot looks like. So feet on railroad tracks, both toes pointed forward. I'm gonna go ahead and bend my front knee, lifting my back heel up off of the ground. Then I'm gonna straighten this back leg, still leaving my heel off of the ground. And I've got a nice stretch through the front part of my hip. When I'm here, I could also tighten my butt cheek to allow for more of a stretch. I can lean away from the stretching leg or twist away from the stretching leg. So those are all nice options to do that standing hip flexor stretch. I'm gonna show you one more option using yoga blocks. I really like this as a way to warm up for any type of leg day, or maybe if I've been sitting for a long period of time. I like the use of yoga blocks because it's bringing the ground up to me, though you can do this without the yoga blocks. So I'm gonna place the blocks on the ground. I'm gonna step one foot in between the yoga blocks, and this is my left leg. So my left leg or left foot is gonna be closer to this left yoga block. Here, I'm gonna deepen into my lunge, and I'll start to feel that stretch through the front part of my hip. When I'm here, I can really make my spine nice and long, and I can bring that back knee down to the ground and then up to the ceiling, really getting a nice on-off pumping action through the front of our hip as a way to stretch those muscles. Let me go ahead and show you what the other side looks like. Gonna go ahead, bring that foot back, Toes are pointed forward, feet nice and wide. Right foot is next to right block, shoulders are relaxed. I'm gonna go ahead and sink down into the stretch. You might have to wiggle your back foot a little bit further back. Then I can go ahead and bring my knee towards the ground and then up towards the ceiling, giving a nice pumping or on-off action. If I were to remove the yoga blocks, it looks very similar. I have a little bit of a hard time touching the ground, and so I tend to prefer the blocks there as a way to support my upper spine so I can really focus that stretch into my hip. So try those various options and see what serves you best.